Hey hands, how we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? My microphone won't get in the proper direction. I don't know. You know when something changes ever so slightly and it sends you on a fucking bad end? Well, that is me right now. I have an avocado thing, keeping my back from being in pain. How are we all diddly doing? How are we all holding up? What have we ate today? What did we have for tea? I had a vegan ham and cheese sarnie from Costa for our breakfast today. Absolutely beautiful. Also, is anybody keeping up with Love Island? Because it's all the drama, Mick. I just love it. But today, I'm going to be reacting to your unpopular opinions, and there is many of them. I posted a tweet about it. I tweet a lot of shit on Twitter. You can follow me there if you would like to. If you wouldn't like to, it's completely fine, babe. It does stress me out a little bit. But I asked you what your unpopular opinions were, and I tried to get opinions that were actually unpopular, because a lot of opinions are like, I want open world, and it's like, that's not unpopular, babe, but I want that too. We want the same things. So I did try and get some unpopular things, but also some did sneak in that are kind of popular opinions that I just wanted to talk about. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I don't know, I haven't decided on whether or not I should pull the green screen up. You know what, let's be professional. My outfit does not match today, but I was wearing the same yellow jumper I wore in my Sims 5 video, and I was like, well, I can't be a scruffy cow, can I? The first one, actually, we're just going to keep it nice and simple. It is by RPG_Libra. I hate Sims music. I never turn the radio on, and I had to include this because how could this tweet disrespect the song? That's like the Simmers anthem. That is the Simmers anthem. If you're feeling sad, just put bomb. It's actually Sim Time, Sim Place. The Sims 2 Nightlife version. That just makes all of your problems, plural, go away. So I'm sorry, RPG Libra. Strongly disagree with this unpopular opinion. I actually find that the Sims music is like an acid trip. So you get to experience that without the acid, which can only be a good thing. So unfortunately, I massively disagree with your opinion. And I think that maybe the issue is just your taste. I take that back. That's not true. I'm just saying that for dramatic effect. I don't think the issue is your taste. Maybe you just don't like acid music, and that's valid. Wrong, but valid nonetheless. The next one is something that I thought, ooh, I have to include this because that's a lot of money. It's by Jessemcnamarax on Twitter. A full experience of The Sims is not worth $789.59. Well, cents, isn't it? I don't know how much that is in America. In the UK, I'm gonna $789.75 in pounds. £566.72 in pounds sterling. That is a lot of money. I would like to give my thoughts onto this because being a game changer and having my YouTube channel, this is the first time that I've actually had all of the packs in anything. Maybe I did with The Sims 1 actually. Maybe I did then. But that was like birthdays and Christmas and stuff. The only thing I ever asked for was Sims packs, so that's why I had all of The Sims 1. But The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, I never had the full experience. Even now, like, I'm going back and playing The Sims 3 packs that I never got a chance to play. Yeah, I thought I'd give my input because this has been the first time that I fully experienced The Sims 4. And can I say, if I wasn't a Sims YouTuber, I'd have every single pack? No, honestly, just point blank, I absolutely wouldn't. I'd pick and choose which packs are worth it for me, the same way that I've done in the previous games, and because that's been the only experience I've ever known. Yeah, it's quite a unique experience for me this time, playing with expansion packs and everything as soon as they come out, because I've never really had that experience before. Only ever if it was an expansion pack that I really wanted. I'd say for me, the full experience is probably not worth that much, because for me, if I wasn't a game changer, I wouldn't spend that much, because that's not how I play The Sims. I've always played The Sims with a couple of packs that interest me. That's my opinion on that one. Next one is by the _star. Sims 4 has the ugliest Sims, hands down. Oh, hands down. So, ding. I'm going to have to disagree with this one. I think, right, and you know that I am a slag for nostalgia, right? I am a Hawflaw. I love all of the previous Sims games. I think it's two different discussions we are potentially having here, Kelsey. And I'll tell you for why, me darling. Because Sims 4 Sims with CC versus Sims 3 Sims with CC, and then the Sims 4 vanilla versus the Sims 3 vanilla is two completely different conversations. If we're talking vanilla straight off the bat, Sims 4's got the best looking Sims. It's so easy to make a good looking Sim. Sims 3 Sims vanilla, not doing it, sorry, like literally I would rather shit in my hands and clap than have to play The Sims 3 vanilla. I can't do it. They have some nice things, but I say some, where The Sims 4 vanilla has a lot nicer things. So I think that The Sims 4 being the ugliest Sims hands down is not, I don't agree with it. Next up, right? Which is kind of in the similar vein as this. The Sims 3 Sims aren't ugly. People are just too impatient to actually use the individual feature sliders in Create Sim. Often they just straight up use the pre-made features. You can make beautiful Sims in that game. It just takes patience and practice. That's from Evelina _M. I am gonna agree and disagree, actually. There's things about this that ring true and there's things about this that ring false to me. People are just too impatient to actually use the individual feature sliders in Create Sim. Often they just use pre-made features. I am gonna agree to this one for me and my personal experience. Other people that I know are really talented in Create Sim and can create fucking anything. For me, I have a really hard time with faces, especially, and it comes in the Sims 3 and the Sims 4. Like, if you play my save file, nobody's got chins. I just can't do them. I'm not that good at Create Sim. The sliders stress me out a little bit. So for me, yes, I am too impatient and too lazy to make decent looking Sims in the Sims 3. I know it can be done. The customization is still there in the Sims 3 as it is with the Sims 4. But in the Sims 4, it's easier to maneuver things and do things. Easier to visualize, like, what essentially, like, if the Sims 4 had sliders, it kind of does because you can pull them. It's easier to visualize what you're doing, where in the Sims 3, it's harder, if that makes any sense, for me anyway. My main issue with the Sims 3 being ugly is actually in the hair and clothes. Like, I romanticize the Sims 3 hair, and I'm well aware that I do, because I'm not actually romanticizing Sims 3 hair. I'm romanticizing Sims 3 custom content, because I look back, even the Sims 3 Seasons hair, which I loved at the time. What is that? Shit. Really bad, actually, looking back. So yeah, I agree and disagree with this one for my personal playstyle. Next, we've got Sar_Fire. Sims 4 is better than Sims 3 only because of its strong modern and CC community. If it didn't have those things, Sims 3 would be infinitely better. And then kind of tying into that one, another plum bob, Sims 4 Seasons did Seasons best. Sims 4 is actually one of the best games for family gameplay. I don't want fairies and never cared for them, so I'm gonna like pick both of them and talk about them. I actually disagree with the fact that The Sims 4 is better than The Sims 3 only because of its modern and CC community. I think that The Sims 4 has a really strong modern and CC community, but it's not the only one of the Sims franchises to have a really strong modern and CC community. In fact, from the first ever Sims, we've had a really strong modern and custom content community. But that's not to take away from the modders and CC, because a lot of mods and CC really do help fix the game. But I don't think that that's the only reason that The Sims 4 is better than The Sims 3. I actually think that there's multiple reasons why The Sims 4 is better than The Sims 3. And there's also multiple reasons why The Sims 2 is better than The Sims 4, The Sims 3 is better than The Sims 4, Sims 2 is better than The Sims, etc, etc, etc. One of the main things why The Sims 4 is better than The Sims 3 for me is build buy mode, because for me it has completely revolutionized it. I've never saw myself as a builder. I've never enjoyed building necessarily. Really impatient with it. I would much rather download houses and play in them in previous games, where The Sims 4, because build and buy is so easy once you like know what you're doing, and it's so much better, not including create style. But my feelings are undefined on create style. I like some parts, hate others. But yeah, building is so much easier in The Sims 4. It's a lot smarter and more intuitive, so it's definitely better in that regard. And The Sims 4 Seasons did Seasons best. I disagree. I'm sorry. I really don't like disagreeing with people. I don't think that The Sims 4 Seasons did Seasons best, because playing The Sims 3 Seasons, because it's an open world, you can really feel that season at that time. And I think that's a limitation of The Sims 4 Seasons, because you are in a set. And also the depth of snow, I still don't understand why they chose to take that route with it, because I think that, you know, depth of snow could be annoying at times, but I think having the option where you can choose to turn it off would be better. And also, I really like Seasons in The Sims 4. It's one of my favourite packs, but it is really missing the festivals. And I think that taking festivals and making the festivals customizable to whatever you wanted them to, similar to how we can customize holidays, I think that would have been a really cool idea. I think that would have put Sims 4 Seasons above Sims 3. But alas, we didn't even get festivals. And The Sims 4 being one of the best games for family gameplay, it makes me really sad, because I actually strongly disagree with this one. But if it done family gameplay, I think it could be absolutely amazing. The issue is that they just don't do family gameplay, which also ties into some of the other things that I've included in this one, which I'll talk about later. And I don't want fairies and never cared for them unless they make them Tinkerbell sized. You know how I feel about the occult. I like witches. I like witches. I like that. But fairies, I could take them or leave them, but I am a fan of the occult. I am. Right, so the next one that ties into that is from K_is_short. I hate the toddler stage and child stages. They are cute and all, but they are so time consuming and do literally nothing. I like customizing and coming up with storylines, but they are so boring in live mode. They are needly and boring. I've been called that before. I absolutely agree with you, but it's not because I hate toddler and children. I actually think toddlers in The Sims 4 are the best toddlers that we've got so far. I would have liked them to have been included in base game, like from the get-go. If anybody's new at The Sims 4, toddlers weren't included with the release, which was shocking, honestly. I think that they're boring and needly because there's not really much to do with them. It's almost like children are kind of mini adults and teenagers are pretty much adults. Like, there's nothing to really differentiate their experiences. I would really like to see their life stages be built upon more. I definitely think that we could. Toddlers, their life stage, it does feel completely separate to an adult life stage, but children and teenagers definitely need more to be built upon, because they are kind of boring. Children was my favourite life stage to play in like The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 because it really felt like a different experience. Next up, Claire. My girl Claire, love you, babe. Well, I did until you posted this tweet. Sims 3 cam sucks. Big fat disagree. I hate the Sims 4 camera with every ounce of my being. I will die on this hill. Not going to end friendships today, as long as you change your opinion. Thanking you. Next up is JJ Simmy. I don't mind if they reuse animations. How different should a climbing animation be? Let them use the animation from the sport pack. I absolutely agree. Honestly, I don't have an issue with reusing animations. Animations are probably the most costly, time-consuming thing, and I think that having, the pressure to make new animations for every single thing just takes away from other things that we could be getting, like extensive gameplay. I'm fine with having more gameplay if it reuses animations. In fact, I think that's a useful way for them to spend the time. I mean, I understand remeshing a bit more because the beekeeper things and then the little slug things. I understand like those type of aspects, like that aspect of the argument. I don't really have that much of an issue with reusing animations as long as we get new gameplay that it impacts our Sims lives differently. And then the Sims 3 being impacted, then the Sims 2, just love the story progression, stuff that came with Generations. I absolutely agree. I also think that looking at it from the perspective of that time, one thing that makes Sims 2 nearly unplayable is the fact that everything around you doesn't age up. That's something that I really struggle with to go back to the Sims 2 now. That was also just how it was then until Free Time came out and your friends could grow up with you. I think it was Free Time anyway. But the gameplay of the Sims 2, like the day-to-day gameplay, has stood the test of time. But it's these kind of things that like once you get improvements, it's quite hard to go back, which is again why The Sims 4 has been such a contentious subject, because it is hard to go back once you've had these things like the story progression and the open world. So that's what made The Sims 3 so innovative. Listen, I don't fucking know how to pronounce that word. You know what I'm trying to say. I think that it depends what you're looking for from each game. That kind of makes it the best for you, because every single game of mine is my favourite so far. I think they all have issues placed in the context of each time of when they came out. Apart from The Sims 4. Sims 4's an oddball, isn't she? Like, I love her. She's the first one to kind of go backwards. She's a weird one. This one is one I want to talk about. Cassandra Green said the Sims team only brought out Cottage Living because they felt they were being shown up by a modder that was getting more attention than the crap they put out. And this is referring to Arnie's Farming mod, which came around the same time that Cottage Living did. I'm going to have to disagree with this one, because purely just because I know how long it takes for game development. I think if there was a longer time frame between the release of Annie's World and then the release of Cottage Living, I'd agree. But also Cottage Living, with the time frame, it kind of comes at the right time after quarantine when everyone really got into a cottage living and started romanticizing, not like specifically cottage, but I mean like IRL cottagecore, started romanticizing the life, started taking things slower. I think that the time frame of that and then Cottage Living being released is probably the influence more than Arnie's work. Not to say that Arnie's work isn't amazing, because it absolutely, they do stuff with The Sims 4, right, and they mod it in ways I didn't even think was possible. They truly are outstanding and they astound me. But yeah, I don't think it was a direct link between Arnie's mod and then the release of Cottage Living. Little Grape 24 said, I like My First Pet stuff even if it's cut content from cats and dogs. I don't think the aesthetic of My First Pet stuff fits with the rest of cats and dogs, and I use stuff all the time. Worth it, in my opinion. My First Pet stuff is a cute pack. It actually is. Like, it's got cute items. It's got rodents. They're pretty good. You know what I really use all the time? Curtains from My First Pet stuff. The cats and dogs, like, additional items that it includes is cute. The issue with My First Pet stuff is the context of which it came out, because it came out after Cats and Dogs. It is very obviously should have been included in Cats and Dogs, but you can't have cats and dogs and rodents. Like, it has the same desk from that set. I think that what leaves a sour taste in people's mouth is kind of the context behind the release rather than, the items. Because I think if we didn't have cats and dogs, actually no, because it's kind of like an add-on to an add-on, which I don't think we should go down that route. I like it when there's cross compatibility with packs, but not when you need one pack to buy another pack. if that makes sense. So that combined with the context of how soon it was released after Cats and Dogs makes it a very dirty pack, in my opinion. Definitely not the right move to make. But the items are cute. I just don't agree with the release of it. Fake Gamer Girl, how you doing, Beach? Big fan. So they should make the game less realistic. And I agree and I disagree. I would really like to see more realistic things, but I think in terms of more realism, I'm really looking for more realistic family dynamics and a more realistic childhood and teenage experience. That's the kind of realism that I'm looking for. But also, I am looking for less realistic things too. And I think by that, I'm looking for more kind of quirky aspects of previous Sims games, which I am seeing coming in more. And we've got the things like the tragic clown and stuff. The things like when your mood gets low, having the professor come down and sorting you out and everything. The social bunny and like just weird things from the Sims 1 and 2 that make you like, yeah, this is the Sims, rather than it being just a hyper-realistic life simulator. Although I would still like the hyper-realisticness, I would also like the quirkiness as well. So I agree. This one hurt my feelings. Ivysaurus Rex said the laundry day pack is crap. Just adds yet another mechanic into the game that you have to worry about. I have my own laundry to worry about IRL. I don't need to add sim laundry into the mix. See, I actually fucking love, right? And I know it's so sad of me. I love the laundry day pack. I am a big fan of Bust the Dust. I think it definitely needs fine-tuning, that one, without a shadow of a doubt. These boring, monotonous things like laundry and Bust the Dust, grocery shopping and everything, because we've got that in the game now. I absolutely love those aspects of the game. I'm so sorry. You know what? I just live a boring life. Do you know what I mean? I do like the quirkiness, as I said, but I also really like these hyper-realistic things. And I think that I really like them because I also have my own laundry to do. Can't be asked fucking doing it. It's easy to send my sim to do it. And I think that's why I like these boring, monotonous tasks, because I am once again living vicariously through my Sims. Hey, can I do it again? This one. I don't want to join your pyramid scheme, Brenda. It said, horses are dumb and unnecessary. Don't want them at all in the slightest. I like horses. I was really happy to see them in The Sims 3. They kind of worked well in The Sims 3 because it was an open world and they could just trot around and that. But I am curious to see if they ever do come in The Sims 4. I think it's kind of the same thing as cars, like the same kind of argument. You are closed to one lot, although they could walk around like the neighborhood that you're in, because it's only the houses that you can't go to without a loading screen. So I guess bikes is a better equivalent to it. I'm not sure how it'd work. I don't know if it'd work like llamas and that in cottage living, because they are kind of objects, but I wouldn't want to keep them in just one thing. I'd want like horses to be like they were in The Sims 3. They were quite realistic in The Sims 3. I say that I rode a horse twice in my entire life and I am not a horse girl. Much to Kayla's disbelief, Lil Simsy thinks I was a horse girl, or the type of girl that barked at people in school. 50% that's true. This one really hurt my feelings even more. The Sims 4 Get Together is one of the worst expansion packs in terms of live mode gameplay contents. And then also Ace Hardware, I've enclosed a comprehensive list of everything I care about from the Get Together pack, and it's the experienced pillar, which fucking 100%, I do love that pillar. But I actually, in terms of YouTube videos, I'd say Get Together is something that I don't often use apart from in builds. But off camera, when I'm playing my own families, I actually use Get Together a lot. It's also one of my favourite worlds to live in. But the club system and cafes, etc., I really enjoy it. I think Get Together is, I think I rated it my top expansion, but I think it's also down to personal preference, because like some people don't class Dream Home Decorator as gameplay. I do, because it's my type of gameplay. So it kind of just depends what you're looking for, I guess. Bewitching Eyes said, I actually enjoy the game as it is. I wanted to escape reality and so far it works just fine. Good for you, you look happy and healthy. Not me, if you ever cared. No, I think that it actually made me really happy to read this, because that's exactly what games are to people. And if this game is your escape from reality and you enjoy it just as it is, amazing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. And I'm happy for you that this game can be that for you. I just wanted to highlight that. And like, if you actually enjoy the game as it is, that's okay. But also if you were disappointed with some aspects of the game, that's also okay. Both opinions are perfectly valid, because not everybody is the same. And enjoyment and likability is subjective. And you know what? I think I'll actually end it there. I think that's quite a nice note to end it on, actually. So that has been me reacting to your unpopular opinions. Please let me know if you have any more unpopular opinions. Leave them down below as well. Also, any other talking video ideas. I plan to have what people actually want, like popular opinions. But yeah, I love these talking videos because I can talk for fucking England. Don't know if you've noticed. I love you all. so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you're watching Love Island, please, because it's literally all I can think about. I never thought I'd be obsessed with it the way I am now a couple of years ago, but I am fully fucking hooked. I spent all my time on the Love Island subreddit. If you want to join my Discord link is down below, because I am planning to stream again, and that gives you updates when I'm streaming. My leg is still itchy. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, bitch.